Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Brought to you by Photography is an Art. Harvey Brandman, master photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard, Burbank, California. Attorney Ron Irwin's book, Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart. Author Larry Buford's book, To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. State Farm agent Carla Green and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Space. Roll it, Tony.
Wasn't that fun?
Fun?
I'm the coffee girl today.
The doctor gave me 3 kidneys.
Ew!
Stop it!
I felt it.
You're out of your friggin' mind.
Hey-o!
You're an abusive arse!
All right. My first guest today is out of New York City, my home. He studied acting at Salford Community College and also studied classical music at Hofstra University. He also studied a 3-year Meisner program at the renowned William Esper Acting Studio in New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome actor, producer, veteran, Ralph Guzzo. Ralph, how you doing, man?
Thank you so much, Ron. Fantastic. Thank you for that lovely introduction.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to The Actor's Choice. First of all,
how are you, sir?
How was your weekend, sir?
It was good. It was good. It was actually good.
Yeah, because you're a busy guy. Did you get it all in?
I did. I stay creative even during these lockdown times and do my best and just trying to keep, stay in it, stay doing it. So.
Indeed. What attracted you to the acting business? I always ask that question. Is it the money? Is it the fame? What attracted you to the business?
No, I think, I think everyone, if they're honest, has that on their mind, am I going to get somewhere? Am I going to, you like it when you do a good performance and stuff like that. And of course there's some part of your self-esteem that's trying to get, validated and exercised through it in some ways. But I really think I was a musician before, from the time I was 12 to 20. And I found it later around 20. Shakespeare was my first stuff at Suffolk Community College. It was such a great school, they had a great department. And I kind of fell in love with the poetry. It was always stuff that I liked. And, it was like mind, body, and spirit all involved, especially in Shakespeare because it's so physical. So I just kind of fell in love with the actual expression of it, that comes through the body. It was like music, but your body is the instrument,
Got you. As I said,
and yes, I was lucky enough to get cast in a couple leads, so that didn't hurt. I got lucky from the beginning. So.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about some of those leads.
That didn't last, but
Yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. As I just said moments ago, you attended a 3-year Meisner training program. Can you tell our viewers first what is Meisner, and second, why did you take the program?
Meisner, how to sum that up? For me, it's based more on listening. It's more on what the other actor is giving to you versus what you're producing. The very beginning levels of the talk listen exercise is usually not done right, but actually you're taking it off the person. So in the beginning, the discipline is not to react until you really react, really feel it, instead of like, oh, I got my next line, or my next line is I love you, and that might come out like, some intense hateful way through the exchange that's going on. So you get right into the river that's going beneath the actors, the subtext. So it teaches you subtext right away. Then eventually you have to get more advanced with personalization, coming from the character's point of view. I think they called it, there was a name for different, if you had a limp or if you had a certain thing as well. But I think, Robert Duvall is a great example of that. He's a great listener when you watch him act. The guy's always 99% there in every scene, Dan Keaton is the same way. I think they're all Meisner trained. So I think it just attracted me a little bit more. It freed me up. I think I was already a little bit on the sensitive side. I didn't the method thing was a little like, I don't know if I can do more, you know. I wound up becoming a member of the Actors Studio, you know, funny enough, but anyways.
Yes. As you know, a lot of folks don't know there are 8 different styles of being an actor, Stella Adler being one of them.
Right.
And
Right.
you choose, because a lot of people are under misconceptions. They think, well, you know, I want to be a star. Okay, fine. And I don't have to do nothing. Well, you got to memorize. You got to do a lot of things. This job don't come that easy.
Yeah, tremendous amount of work. It's underestimated, especially if you know what you're doing, and especially if you've been trained and you care. It's a tremendous amount of work. Even the voiceovers I do now for Netflix, it's still a lot of work doing dubbing and stuff like that. You're trying to match it exactly. So.
Thank you. Well, that program definitely paid off for you. Year 1998, you did your first IMDb acting role in a movie called Lewis and Frank.
That's right. I went to school with Sam Rockwell was in the sister class. We were really great friends at the time. Great actor, and we used to pal around. We were, you know, kind of young and trying to figure it out. He was a bit more advanced in the business. He'd been in the business quite a while already. Jennifer Beals was in my class. There was really some great actors in there. And she'd introduced me to her husband, Alex Rockwell, and that's how I got the job in Lewis and Frank. And that was a great experience. He's a great director. I still see him to this day on and off when he comes out here. And he's just a kind of like a Jenna Rollins' husband, you know, the great, who am I thinking of? I don't know why my mind just went blank. Jenna Rollins, and who's the great director from New York City. Worked with, and it was gonna come back to me. He's like one of the best of the best. Anyways, that Real Street New York in the moment, you know, Mikey and Nikki, do you remember that movie? Who directed that? Oh, Cassavetes.
Yes.
Cassavetes.
Yes, John
So
Cassavetes. Okay.
Alex has that kind of Cassavetes style of just making actors comfortable. It's just brilliant. I've never seen
Gotcha.
very few directors do that. So
Quickly, do you miss New York?
I do. I always do. I went back to do a play called Halcyon Days by Stephen Dietz.
Yes.
Alex Dinelaris, who wrote Birdman, directed it. And we had a great time together. We started out together doing a play called Orphans and all this stuff when we were kids. And I went back to do that play, and I was this close to moving back. If the voiceover dubbing didn't get dropped in my lap, I think that was it.
Got you.
I'd rather be here now during COVID, I think. Nothing against my love of New York and my New York friends.
Got to get them.
You know, the energy on the street. You know how it is, Ron.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Give me my hot dog. Give me my this. Give me my New York.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fast forward to 2011, and you played in Eva Marie Frederick's short comedy.
That's
Shorty
right.
and Morty.
Yeah, she is so great.
Yes,
Love her.
yes.
She is fabulous. So she's a great actress, by the way. You know, she is just incredible. I did a reading with her once. We were trying to get something together, and just a sidestep, but she was so flawless and invisible in her performance. I remember thinking, wow, I'm really gonna have to, be on my A game, because I couldn't see her acting. I mean, she was just so seamless in this thing we did. She's quite a talent, quite a lovely person. And but anyways, yeah, I love doing Shorty and Morty. We had a great time.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We opened up the show. You notice we showed the scene of her and Dana coming in, walking down, but she had the leg
right.
on.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
I loved her. I still do. She's got a great visionary capacity. You know, she had the right idea back then of really doing your own thing. Gotcha. You know, I was still trying to, you know, make it in the business or whatever they say. And, but I think that she always had the right idea with that of do your own thing. You know, it's important that younger actors hear that too, because got to empower yourself, you know, and then you're ready when the opportunities come.
Right. A year later, you got back together with her again. This time it was called Shorty and Morty, Hollywood at Stake. This time as an actor and a co-producer.
Yes. We were wild in the streets, fearless, running like wild people through Hollywood Boulevard. And I played that great character, Jared, who I love to this day. Just kind of me as I don't know what, my fantasy of me in some way of some, you know, really guy who never like leaves home and just stays in his mom's basement and plays his guitar or something like that. So, but it was, we had a great time. Yeah, we stole a lot of shots, beautiful shots in Hollywood Boulevard, and extended that show. You know, it was a really, really fun thing to do. It's so great to work with her too. She's fantastic. And I loved helping producing. Yeah, I loved it.
Right. Speaking of Hollywood Boulevard and the scene, roll it, Tony.
People don't pay us any money. We're far better looking than any of these costume people.
This way, this way!
Two for the price of one. 20 pounds. 30 pounds.
Yeah, baby.
Cute child you've got there. Really. Ugliest child I've ever seen in my life. I don't remember where I come from.
There you are. We just had it right in there. Let me see. Would you do us a favor, Tony? There's a picture. The next picture shows the cast. Can you put that one up for just a second and hold it until you for just a moment? Look at all those guys and girls. Look at that. Can you see the picture? Ralph, can you see the picture?
I cannot. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's a picture of everybody, the entire crew. Okay. Thanks, Tony. Appreciate that. By the way, Ralph, I got to let you know that year, 2012, that was a good year for you. You had 9 roles, different roles that year.
Yeah.
Busy year.
Yeah, it was.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, 2014, you did a Winter Rose playing a character of Jared. Once again, you had that name out again. Jared.
Yeah. Totally different character, but same name. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a great experience, Robert Miano, and that was also really great to do. I think I played one of the forensic guys in that show, and it was an interesting piece, actually. Yeah.
Okay. The next role you played was that of, let me say this right, Sistian.
Sistian?
Sistian in a movie set released in 2021. It's a thriller movie written and directed by a new actor named Jeff Espinal.
Jeff, that is not released yet. That is not released yet. Yeah.
Hasn't been released.
Yeah.
But interesting story. Very, very interesting story. Jeff, he's new. He only has, he's only a one-time writer. He's got 2 actor credits, 2 director credits, and 1 writer credit. He's new.
That's right.
Quite an interesting guy, known by a lot
we
of people.
we got to welcome the new people. I mean, they bring great things to the table, and the younger generation is what pushes it forward. And so I'm always open to working with different people and love the young directors. And they've gotten better. I think the young directors they've learned from some of the mistakes I think in the past of maybe directors we might have worked with. Some were great, some weren't. But I think the young directors have a pretty good handle how to talk to actors.
Yes, because you really had some famous actors and actresses in that play, in that movie.
Yeah.
Really, really do for young. But he's well known. They say he wears a cigar, knows all around the world, Paris, here, those there.
That's right.
Well known. Okay. You've got another biopic. You got another event currently in post-production. It's a biopic called I'm Charlie Walker.
Charlie Walker. I don't know where that is and what that's the state of that mov's at. I don't know. I'm not sure where that is. Yeah, that one I can't talk about. Yeah, sorry.
You can't talk about.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure where that one is. Where that one's going. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Doing a biopic. What's your feeling about biopics?
I think they're great. I mean, I take them seriously. I think they're really, really great pieces to do. You do your homework, and you just find out how you fit in there. The movie from I can't think of the name, in San Francisco, was a 1970s movie about racism and stuff like that. It was a great movie, really showing kind of what went on and the hypocrisy in San Francisco in the early 70s, And there's been a lot of great movies I've had to be involved in. And then sometimes you have to play roles that you wouldn't, play in life, or people you aren't, and, as part of the storytelling too, So I think that I'm curious about the new films that come out after all this new time, new awareness, new change that's needed, new films, COVID. I mean, it's really going to be, I think it's going to change the face of art for sure.
Yes.
In a lot of ways. I'm very curious about it and excited in a way, as devastating as this time has been, being so isolated for many of us.
I heard it through the grapevine that you have a current project with Dennis Hopper.
Wait, yes. Asphalt Burning. It's not Dennis Hopper, but it was a Dennis Hopper-like character. And it was, I just finished that 2 days ago, and that's a Swedish. I do a lot of dubbing for Netflix. I've done probably 7 shows for them, 7 series for them. You could see me as Detective Zapata on Toy Boy, which is currently running on Netflix. I play the older guy who's the main lead in that. But Asphalt Burning was great. It's a kind of a real fun character, and he's basically like life is a party, and if this party's not working, let's get to the next party, which is not always a disposition I am myself, but it was kind of like, hey, yeah, you know, it was really fun to do.
Gotcha.
And the director was great from that. That's all on Netflix.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I've worked for Netflix a lot, doing dubbing Spanish, French, and Italian into English, so it's been great.
Because as you know, Biopics, the family, the studio, it's kind of a hodgepodge there. Who's going to come out the certain on top? And
that's right.
It's interesting.
That's right. It certainly is. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Sir, you are indeed a busy man. Getting work as an actor, it can sometimes be rough, as you know.
Yeah.
I'm curious about your thoughts of the new generation of actors and actresses, the new ones, the newbies.
I think they're really good. I worked with a lot of people. I'm a member of the Actor Studio as well for many, many years, and I've seen some great talent. I mean, I think people when they take it seriously, I mean, they're climbing on the backs of the other actors that have already really been there. I think they're quite savvy. The young people today, they're great with cameras. I think the only thing that's different from this generation to that generation is patience. I think it takes a while to. You don't get the character overnight, but I found a lot of the younger actors easier to move with me if I'm moving in a certain direction, especially if it's, let's say, dangerous in the sense of out of your comfort zone, rather than just staying in kind of a box with the acting. You know, maybe you want to try something different with it. I find them really great with that, guys and gals. So I've been so grateful to so many that I work with. I've worked with a guy named John Dapolito who does a niche class, Actors Where You Going? He does a thing called Lawlessness Subsides. That was just fabulous. And you really just go with one beautiful sentence and you let it roll, man. But you live up to that sentence. And boy, I'll tell you, it pushes you right out of your zone. So there was a lot of young people in that class too. I thought that were great. I think the danger of what's going on for all generations, but the younger generation right now is just that they're so good at branding compared to me, at least. And all that kind of stuff that sometimes they want to get to the goal and the result a little faster than maybe some of the steps that you got to live with. And the role's not there right now. I don't think the character's coming together. If you've done a lot of plays, sometimes it comes together, 6 weeks in and you're like, God, thank God something's happening, because you're finding it. So I think that process of finding it is something, that was a long explanation. Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right.
There you go.
Coming from the expert. I was about to ask you, do you do any stage work?
I've done a ton of stage work. Yeah, I've done at least 30 plays, maybe more. Recently, Stephen Dietz is the most done playwright in the United States. I don't know if you know that playwright, but he's great. Reagan's era, and a really, really great part I did in that. I did one of my favorite roles really was Speed the Plow by David Mamet. I always resist parts, and then sometimes you get them and they wind up being your greatest roles. I did that at the Actor Studio with a guy named Jack Kaler, and it was just such a good. People always say Mamet will carry you, but really you got to get behind it, because just like in real conversation right now, you're, going along with me. There's a whole dialogue that's in your mind and being that's being connected to mine and vice versa. So I think people just think sometimes the little yeah, it's going to get it done. It doesn't. So, but I love David Mamet. Yeah, I did Shakespeare, did Macbeth at the Actors Studio, and I've done a lot of great roles. Orphans, I did early on when I was a kid, and a lot of great stuff.
Got you. Any director plans in mind?
I think so. I think as I do music as well. So I think as I put more videos together for those different things involving activism and stuff I need to say, I think the directing will come more into focus. I have from time to time, but I think I produced a film too recently up in Sacramento, and that's also still being done, and that was great. So I think that also gave me the bug of at times I do produce as well. So. But I think directing would be a natural step, Yeah.
You've been there. You got what? 30.
Done it. Yeah.
IMDb. Yeah. You're ready. More than ready.
You know every trick in the book. Well, so you want to comfort the actors, and each actor. I was friends with Martin Landau, God rest his soul, and he used to say, every actor is a little different. I think even I don't know if what people got out of seeing him. Sometimes they said he repeated himself, but I don't think he did. First of all, he was of incredible sound mind all the way into his 80s, and I think he really understood because of his life experience and how many. He won the Oscar for Bela Lugosi and Ed Wood. He would always say, every actor is a little different. It's not some cookie cutter thing of the method works for this. And I think going back to that with Lee Strasberg, he used those exercises to free each instrument differently. It really wasn't a one size fits all. And now we do the coffee cup that might work for you. And then this might work for me or vice versa. Maybe you like the dance and, the other exercise that he does, So, I mean, I think it's very, it's quite a deep process,
I love you actors. I love y'all. I love you. The work that you guys got to do.
I can feel it.
Huh?
I'd work with you anytime. I can feel it.
Thank you. Thank you.
You automatically know, who you're in a room with. It just over time, and you're like, yeah, I'd work with him in a second,
Got you.
So.
I got something that I think you're going to love this one.
Sure.
That music training really paid off for you. And let's take a look at you doing a quick riff on a guitar.
Okay. Okay.
Wow. I'll send you a copy of the show. You'll see yourself on it. You had your stuff doing your thing. Wow.
Yeah, doing my thing. Yeah, I love the guitar. Love the
Yes,
guitar.
indeed. I also heard from the grapevine that you presented a piece guitar to Saddam Hussein in 1996.
I did. I think this is the first time I think I'm talking about it on the air to anyone, just so you know. So I'm honored to be on and honored to speak with you about it. I do a lot of Native American work with a guy named Joseph Rael, a chief and a mystic who's retired now. He's just an incredible medicine person, you would say, and a really advanced person. Being in Vibration, can't recommend that enough to anybody. And Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke is my other favorite book. Yeah, it came to me. We were going back to Iraq, and I just thought, we were already there, and it really was above. The feeling was coming more from another place of not just what we had to gain from going back there. It was really just more of. I really felt that there was just too much hypocrisy. We either knew he was good or bad, or when we were there, and I did present it to him. I met the ambassador Nazer Hamdoun, and he took it to Saddam. I gave my guitar to CNN, did a little interview on it that kind of quieted it quite a bit. But it was very nerve-wracking. It was a little nerve-wracking, the whole experience. A bunch of people from arts and actors signed the thing. It was like, I should have sent you a picture of it. It's a beautiful guitar, and sent you the letter as well. He received it, said he was surprised anyone even could interact with him like that, or I didn't, it wasn't about condoning what he did wrong or right or whatever he was involved with in criminal activity. That's his business and his karma. But it was more like, are we going to continue to have war on this planet? It's just really becoming, a waste of time in a way, and we have to find a different way to work out things. But he invited me to get to, B.B. King gave his guitar to the Pope that year, 1996, and I gave mine to Saddam Hussein, December 21st, 1996. Everybody thought I was out of my mind, of course, and did the little interview. I didn't go to, he invited me to Babylon to play the guitar in a big concert, sent back all these watches as gifts that I gave to the people that signed. But I felt my job was done, I'd done my part in it. A man named Jimmy Twyman, who's kind of a spiritual leader, really, he went and played his guitar for Saddam around the same time. And I always felt a little bit like maybe I nudged the door open, and then Jimmy went over there and did what he needed to do, in the sense of some kind of strange mission we must have been on at that time, you know. But one of the probably the weirdest thing of my whole life, the weirdest anomaly of like, I don't even know how that happened, but it did.
Well, unfortunately, Rob, we have to close out at this time. Thank you so much for coming out today. Really,
what a pleasure, Ron.
And we'll get together again, and I'll get back in touch with you to make sure that happens. Again, thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be on your show, and really look so forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you. This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. The studio of Harvey Brandman Photography as an Art is proud to offer you a $100 discount off any photo package valued at $300 or more. Now, Harvey's been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century, and he certainly knows how to take care of his customers. So please give him a call today at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad you did. And by the way, please tell Harvey that you heard about his offer right here on The Actor's Choice. Haiku, style, passion, heart. It's the latest release from author and attorney Ron Irwin. Now, the book was inspired by the author's first exposure to haiku well over a half-century ago. And this experience produced within him a deep passion to experience Asia, which he later did as a U.S. Marine. The book is available in paperback at lulu.com. And Irwin says he'll give 20% of net book sales split evenly between the veterans of foreign wars and Vietnam veterans of America. Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. It's a book by author Larry Buford. It's his historical and faith-based account of how what we do and follow today will affect us tomorrow. The author also calls it an adventure for those who want to travel back through time. The book is now available in paperback for only $17.95 from Amazon, so please get your copy today. And now, a word from State Farm agent Carla Green. Roll it, Tony.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them, but a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because the State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Let me help you with that. Give me a call. State Farm agent Carla Green, 213-239-9675. I look forward to speaking with you.
Okay, Ron. Thanks, Carla. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. For more information, call 213-239-9675. That's 213-239-9675. Attention all actors. An Actor Space provides classes and private coaching by veteran actor Rob Brownstein. An Actor Space is Thursday night classes for working actors and Tuesday night foundation and technique classes for early career actors. The idea here is to build on each actor's strengths and who you are to help refine and reimagine your actor in your career. For more information, contact class at robbrownstein.com. That's robbrownstein.com, or call 323-646-1268, 323-646-1268. Thank you. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a product, a service, or an upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it.
And Ella Fitzgerald. Leimert Park has been called the soul of L.A. It's a passionate, ultra-artistic, tight-knit community that is the center of African-American arts culture in Los Angeles. Nestled in between Hyde Park, Exposition Park, and Baldwin Hills, a visit to Leimert Park is a must if jazz concerts, jam sessions, and Jamaican food are your thing.
My second guest today is a longtime friend and colleague. I've worked with this man through several theater projects. He's got quite a record. I'll leave it for him to tell you that. But today he's here to talk about several upcoming events and projects. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome veteran theater producer and director, James V. Burks. Hi, James. Top of the day to you, my brother. All right.
Morning. How are you doing?
I feel good. Feel good, and even better because I'm looking at you.
Thank you very much.
Handsome young man.
Congratulations. Your show's been on for a while, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, you've been, what, this is your third show? You've been here, yeah.
Yeah, at least three.
Yes.
Maybe four. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I was doing the African marketplace, I think I may
Yes.
have been done.
Yes.
So,
We thank so many people. We started out as an idea, and now we're at 207 episodes now. So we thank a lot of people for working with us, and we work with them, and we just have a fun time. Every Monday, I look forward to sitting in front of the camera and doing this. It's what I call STD, something to do. You know, it's just one of the things. You know.
well, we appreciate you. You know, I think the arts community in Los Angeles couldn't do without you. I think you promoted quite a few people who wouldn't have gotten promoted otherwise. So
got you.
We appreciate it.
Got you. James, you should please take a few moments and tell us a smidgen of some of the things that you have done over the years.
Well, I only got 24 minutes on this show, so I'm gonna make it quick. Yeah, I met Ron back in the 70s when I was director of the Inner City Cultural Center's Institute for Performing and Visual Arts. Left there and got involved with, after doing watch stacks, I got involved with Rennie Roker with Jag BMX's first black bicycle motocross company in the world, and we ended up winning the world championship. Did that for a while, went back to Inner City Cultural Center. Left there for the last 36 years. I've been director, been an Arts Center director for the City of Los Angeles Department of Cultural Affairs. I've directed the William Grunsteel Arts Center, Jobs in the Arts, the William Ray Photography Center, the Lancashire Center, the Madrid Theater, the Encino Photography Center. I was director of performing arts for the city, where I helped create the city's festivals program. We had about 106 festivals in Los Angeles. The key thing that I think I did, which is part of what my philosophy is about the African American community, was I built a marketplace and cultural fair to be more than just a one-time, one day a year street festival, but to be something that could morph into a year-round attraction to build a sense of place within the African American community. But it was more than just African American. It was built on the African so we were able to bring collectively together those who were African descendants that are America, the Caribbean, Europe, and of course Africa. So, and pretty much that's been sort of the model for most of the stuff I do in Leimert Park. Right now, I've been director of the Vision Theater for the last 10 years. And there's a lot of changes happening there. I'll talk about that in a minute. And now I'm director of the Leimert Park Cultural Hub. I've been trying to use this opportunity, use this platform to restore the theater community of South Los Angeles. At the time when we had PASLA, if you remember, Performing Arts Society of Los Angeles, we had the Inner City Cultural Center that we restored, the Watts Writers Workshop, the Fundi Institute, Francis Williams Corner Playhouse, Fox Follies, Inglewood Playhouse, Ebony Showcase Theater. I mean, we had a lot of theater and theater training happening in South LA. So now with a partnership with LA Southwest College, we're trying to do two things. Build Southwest College as a destination for anyone who wants to study drama. Southwest College itself has a real great theater department. They have a 440-seat theater. They've also just won, I think they won a third national award, Kennedy Center Award for theater. So it behooves us to tell the community and public, if you live anywhere in and around South Los Angeles, Southwest College is the place to go. I sit on the board of Southwest College's foundation, and I'm happy to say that I was also a student when that college first opened years ago in '67. I feel honored to be able to sit on that board and do some other things at Southwest College. And now with the vision, I mean, the theater was purchased by the City of Los Angeles in 1999 from former owner Marla Gibbs. And we've been raising the money and the funds to not only to restore the historic theater that was built by Howard Hughes and the Leimert family back in 1931, but also to upgrade it, to raise the quality of the theater, to make the theater an attraction and the center of the arts community in South Los Angeles.
Okay.
So, and that theater now is under $40 million restoration and new construction. The audience chamber has been reconfigured so it sort of rakes up. We've added an orchestra pit. We're adding a fly loft with that theater because it was built for cinema. It did not have dressing rooms, so we're adding dressing room, green room, trap room. We're adding additional office space, and the Manchester Junior Arts Center has also been included in the restoration. The lobby has been done. We've added up a new LCD marquee out front. Slated to open, the construction will be completed probably late spring 2021.
Okay.
And that's most of the stuff in a nutshell. So over the last since we finished the first phase in October 2012, we started looking at how do we introduce the theater to the community. So during the time between 2000 and March 2013 and December 2017, when the theater closed for construction, I think we had over 125,000 people come through there just to see our vision for what the Leimert Park Theater could be. And
let me ask you this.
What we're going to talk about today is one of the projects.
Okay, let me ask you this. Today we want to talk about the Leimert Park. We opened with if you notice, I used a video showing background on Leimert Park. As you know, construction for a railway on Crenshaw Boulevard has been going on for how long now? Too long, right?
Yes, very long. Well, it's slated to be finished also next year. And Leimert Park itself has a metro station.
Right, I got my fingers and toes crossed. Right.
Destination Crenshaw also opening next year.
Right.
It's going to make that whole hub there really an attraction. So the objective is to get it ready, get everything ready that I've been talking about for 2028. It gives us an opportunity to plan for what we weren't able to do in 1984, is prepare the community to host a number of delegations. In fact, I'm working personally on a African American host committee for the 2028 Olympics to host those delegations that are coming from Africa and those coming from African descendant countries. So there's a lot of work to do, but things around, it's all happening at the same time. And what happens as an urban planner, people see it and they say, well, they're just allowing Leimert Park to deteriorate. Not really. Leimert Park is growing. We have a lot of new, young, millennial business people in Leimert Park to merge with those that exist, like the World Stage, the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center, the Barbara Morrison California Jazz and Blues Museum, the Fernando Pullen, which is a nationally recognized young group of musicians, probably the best young jazz orchestra in the country, with his Performing Arts Center, with the Regency West Hospitality Center, with the Ben Caldwell's Chaos Network, which is a group that spawned a lot of groups coming out of there. He's right now overseeing, along with the Leimert Park Corporation, the People Street Plaza. The park has been restored. We've all had inundation of homelessness, and sometimes people look at trying to deal with the homeless crisis with a sort of myopic eye instead of looking at all of the needs as opposed to just housing needs in that community. But that's another story, long-term story. Then you have the Hot and Cool Cafe with Tony Jolly. You have the Haroon Cafe with Chase Johnson. Then you have the Estawan Bookstore. You have a Brazilian store called The King that's over there. And we have a couple of new places open there, the Soul and the Art and Practice with their galleries and museums. So there's a lot of creative industry in and around Leimert Park. There's no wonder people want to try to gentrify Leimert Park because it is a historical jewel.
Yes. And as such, because it is historical, as you know, the public sat in the lobby of the theater during the construction has gone on. To see a stage you guys set up in there and can enjoy stage plays while construction is going on in there. The work that, I got to give some credit where credit is due. The work that you and your very trusty assistant, Ursula and Bryant, Tony, can you put Ursula's picture up? Needs to be commended. I mean, there's that lady right there. She did a great job, you guys together. Things that
it wasn't just the theater. We're in a hot zone. And Ursula and also Short played a major role in transitioning people mindset. It's like when I did the aftermarket, I wanted people to come into an experience. When you come into Leimert Park, you come into an experience. And we're very fortunate. We had a fire there back in April, but the fortunate part about the Vision Theater, only thing they got.
Tony, roll a video on that while he's talking, please.
millions
The
of
only
dollars
thing that
into
really
this
got
place.
damaged was the right to the left of it was the marquee. The unfortunate thing is Mark Bradford, the artist Mark Bradford, his building to the left of it had major damage. But they're going to replace it. And, I think they had insurance on the building. But, you know, Leimert Park has a lot of, 90% of the buildings in Leimert Park are owned by people of color. And so they all have plans for what they're trying to do. There's a new Ethiopian restaurant just opened on Leimert Boulevard. So that little square block, two square blocks of Leimert Village, coupled with what's already happening on Crenshaw with the whole cultural destination project. But the Crenshaw destination project, with the first visitors to Los Angeles going to be able to see when they come from the airport, it comes up at 62nd Street. They'll see the African American community. So that whole corridor along there, that's a brainchild of council member Marquise Harris Dawson, is to give people an idea that the African American community has contributed, what the African American community has contributed to the world. The same thing happened over on Central Avenue to a certain degree with Councilmember Kern Price. The people starting to realize what we started talking about back in 1985 is that you have to value the culture because it is a product. It's a product that attracts and influences cultures around the world. Leimert Park is the hub of that for the African American community. So when you were talking about the lobby, we actually grew the Readers Theater and the Theater Festival out of the lobby. So we added a seasonal theater festival. People said, "You're doing theater in the lobby?" Well, you know, theater is where you make it. It's an environment, and it was successful. It was successful. We had little to do. We didn't have a budget. You know, Cultural Affairs Department just wanted me to manage the space because the city went through a financial crunch in the 2008, 9, and 10. So I said, well, we're managing a space, but we got a vacant space here. So let's invite these groups. The majority of them, the 125,000, came through the Vision Lobby. So we made the lobby available for fraternity, for community groups, for theater, for local meetings. We developed 3 charrettes out of that theater to define what we wanted Leimert Park Village to look like once it is completely renovated and once we get to the point where we now are focusing in on the tourism market, the whole cultural tourism issue. So we're pleased now. The Vision Theater is close to being completed. There's a little bit of a shakeup right now in terms of who's going to operate the theater. Yeah. You know, and I think that's an issue that the community should get involved in and have some say-so in regards to it, because I think that you have so many different components. You know, you not only just have theater, but you also have concerts. You have dance, you have music concerts, you have spoken word. We're also proposing that we build a conference center over the parking and with parking down below at the Vision lot and a boutique hotel next to that, so that there is some attraction for people who are coming to Los Angeles to stay in Leimert Park. But a conference center will also give us reason to attract all those conferences that come into LA. Right now, the African American community has an estimated economic impact on the domestic tourism market of over $115 billion annually. Well, there's an opportunity to grow and build jobs in the community. So we're looking at extending People Street, creating a Leimert Park incubator program for small business to grow them, much like I did with the marketplace when we had the stores in the Crenshaw Mall and at the Westfield's Fox Hill Mall. We were growing small businesses. They have 2 businesses in Crenshaw Mall that came out of that incubator program. The cost that it takes to be in those malls. We're hoping that in Leimert Park, we can capture a lot of small businesses that are now really being affected by COVID-19. I think we have the right idea in terms of how to grow them in Leimert Park Village.
You talked about groups. One of the groups that you work with is the Los Angeles Inner City Cultural Center. They have, as you know, C. Bernard Jackson, a legend in his time, who started made it good for a lot of actors back in those days. There's a lady that you work with, of course, Dr. Sandy Sheffy.
Yes.
Yeah, there she is. And don't forget Ernest Delahaye. And there's a whole lot of other members that we don't have the time to get them up there, but you know who they are. We know who they are. And we want to thank those persons for the work that they give. There's a lot of, let me ask you this question straight out. How is Black theater doing here in Los Angeles?
Well, you know, I think when you had the demise of Black theater in South LA, when you lost all those theaters I mentioned earlier, then we had no other option but to go into the West Side. Just like when the Watts they call it a riot when the Watts 1965 civil unrest occurred, they didn't rebuild the Central Business Corridor, which is Central Avenue and 103rd Street. So they didn't rebuild any of that for years. They did, and the first market in South LA was here at the Crenshaw Mall. I'm talking about food market, the Albertsons there. So what happens with theater, the same thing. You know, people have to go to the West Side to spend their money. In fact, I was saying to Recycling Black Dollars and Urban League, this is a perfect opportunity for South LA to focus on rebuilding itself and reconditioning the mindset of the African American community to spend money at African American small businesses.
Right.
The Hot and Cool Cafe has spawned a plethora of coffee shops now in South LA. So it's not just Starbucks anymore. You now can go to Hot and Cool Cafe. You can go to Haran Cafe. You can go to LA Cafe and several others in South LA. I think that we have to take the bull by the horn ourselves and rebuild our communities. And so with theater, we've been trying to do the same thing with theater. There's a small 99-seat theater at a place called Home. We're talking about Watts Towers with the 440-seat theater and our partnership with South.
Right. Now you mentioned one organization.
Cal State.
Okay.
Which one?
One organization is the National Black Theater Festival, and you do a theater festival here in Los Angeles. Can you show that poster for just a second, Tony? The National Black Theater Festival. Yeah, there it is. Thank you. You can see every year it's a biannual event down in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. A lot of people go down there. I've always threatened to go down there. I'm getting down there. But is this what you're trying to do now here in the alternate years that they're not working, that you come in and bring in a project, similar project? Is that what happened?
Yeah. I knew the individual who started the theater festival, and he would come to me when we were doing the African Markets, and we'd have conversations about it. I think that theater festival has done a remarkable job to help restore and faith in Black theater in this country, because it draws a lot of established theater people and a lot of new theater people, new playwrights, new actors, new directors, established playwrights, established actors, established directors. And it's something people can look forward to every other year. We started in 2013 to do a theater festival here in Los Angeles with a whole different spin, because we're in Hollywood. We're the center of the film industry. That we wanted to make sure our theater festival focused on real ideas, like transitioning from live stage to screen and television. It's unfortunate, but I guess it's fortunate as well that this COVID-19 has given us that opportunity to do that with Zoom. So we've been doing the theater festival, the Readers Theater this year, as a Zoom reading. The theater, and our plans are to do the West Coast Theater Festival as an international theater festival with every other even year. So the National Black Theater Festival in North Carolina is every other odd year. So we're in a sense, like I said to them at the Theater Communications Group in New York a year and a half ago, we want to be in support of whatever they're doing and want to partner with whatever they're doing. And we want to do things here, because you can't wait 2 years for conferences when ours is going to be heavily on panel discussion. How do we create an international theater circuit? How do we look at alternative sustainability for theater productions? And how do we look at alternative theater? And how do we reinvigorate our communities with the issue of tourism and the issue of training young people to be. Okay. So our theater festival now about 16 plays. We hope to have about 20. We have about 4 or 5 countries outside that we've been seeking to be part of the theater festival. It's a difficult time for us right now because this COVID-19 has put everybody on lockdown, and we're all struggling with trying to do what you do right now with your show, is air it. So we're looking at using the Barbara Morris, and she's turned her theater into a studio, small studio. So we're
when is that event
broadcasting part of it out of that.
When is that going to happen?
That'll open. Well, the theater festival stuff will open September the 20. I'm sorry, August the 27th through September the 6th. And some of the works will be at the Barbara Morrison Performing Arts Center. Those that are, and we'll upload those to other traditional platforms. So we have our work cut out for us, really.
Got you.
And I don't have the support for this by the Cultural Affairs Department for some reason, but it has not stopped us because when we restored the Los Angeles Inner City Cultural Center, we made Los Angeles City Cultural Center the fiscal receiver for that piece. And the good thing about doing it on Zoom, we can just ask for donations. We don't have to ask for a ticket fee because our costs are very, you know. And so we're going to.
I hate to do this to you, but we ran out of time.
I figured you would.
You said 24 minutes. We ran out of time. We have to get you back again, as always. And thank you again for coming down today. And God bless you for what you and the group of people that you work with, what you do. You do marvelous things. I'm proud to know you. Thank you so much.
When is your next show?
My next show is next week.
Well, good. Then we're advertising on that one, all right?
Okay. Oh, yeah. We can do that. That's fine.
So we will buy an ad.
You got it.
Right?
You got it. Okay.
All right. Thanks again, Ron. You're great. You're doing a good job.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thanks for our sponsors, Harvey Brandman Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, and Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School at Actor Space. Much thanks to our guest today, actor producer Ralph Guzzo, and theater arts producer and director James V. Burks. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. We'll see you next time.